All right. So there was some big news out of Ukraine today. I mean, big news. Like, like this is what some of the biggest news on the battlefield this year in 2025. Kupiansk just, I mean, the Ukrainians just pushed back. Remember on November 20th. Now I invited Greg Terry to come along and so that we could talk. And he's actually on the road. Greg, where are you going right now?
I'm I'm en route to the state Commonwealth of Virginia. I'm attending a Catholic Christmas monastery mass concert tonight, and then I'm speaking this weekend at another place. So I've got a full weekend, but still we'll be getting the updates out and needed to pull over and talk about this for a few minutes because
Yeah.
it's huge.
That's right. So he's not only on the road, but he's also sick, and yet he's agreed to join us. So good on you, Greg.
Thank
Um,
you.
so what happened here, like on the 20th, Gerasimov was telling Putin that Kupiansk was taken under control. And that's not the first, I'm not sure if that's the first or the second time they were saying that Kupiansk was essentially encircled and under control. Then on December 2nd, we see that Putin was saying, we invite foreign media to come to Kupiansk. Remember that? It was like, and we'll suspend, we'll have suspend, like have suspend hostilities for a couple hours so that you can walk through the city and see that we have control. And
They've
then,
been talking about that. Those are the two official dates, but they've actually been talking about Kupiansk specifically for about 2.5 or 3 months that they
yeah,
had it.
yeah, that it was
Mhm.
bagged. And I kept showing you on the map, how is this bagged? You have like this little slice of the city from the north. That's about it. And all this region all around here is all in Ukrainian control. Well, but today they pushed them out in earnest. And the way that
Yeah,
they did it,
it's
and the way that they did it was really interesting. So I'll defer to Greg because Greg has much more sense of what's going on the ground than I do from a distance, looking at maps and OSINT information. So tell me what you
well,
see.
they this doesn't happen overnight. Okay, that's the number one thing we need to remember. First of all, the river there, Zelensky talked about that river 2 or 3 weeks ago. He says the river is our friend right now. And there's a river that runs on the east side of
Oskill?
Kupiansk. Yes, it runs on the east side of Kupiansk and down. So that has been a natural barrier. And then the Russians got caught in a funnel up northeast of Kharkiv. So what Russia actually got control of was like a central strip. And then the mappers are doing their best. But even as we've talked about and brought soldiers on like Viper to talk about maps, guys, it's impossible to map this war
Yeah.
because of drones and urban warfare that literally moves from building to building with two or three guys. And when Zelensky told you 3 weeks ago or so, there's only 50 or 60 Russians in the center of Kupiansk, everybody laughed at him because the
Hmm.
maps were showing Kupiansk basically all red, majority gray zone, or if it's on Institute of Study of War, it's got the gold coloring, which means Russian positions identified and leaning toward Russian control. And then, bam, like that, about 72 hours ago, we started hearing Ukraine is taking Kupiansk back. They're making a push on the northeast. They're making a push on the southeast. We are able to stop Russians when they're escaping over the river. The bottom line is Ukraine's information was accurate.
Yeah.
Russia really never controlled Kupiansk ever, other than with some geolocations, soldiers there, raise a flag here or there, but they
Yeah.
never controlled it.
Yeah. So they didn't control it and they were using it, saying that they did control it as some kind of propaganda tool. This was just one of a number of places that they hadn't circled and see they need to surrender now and they need to give away the Donbass. And it was part of the broader propaganda effort. But I want to talk about what's actually was going on the ground first.
Go
So
ahead,
so it was
you need to hear this. You need to hear this, and then you go to the ground.
okay.
When Zelensky sat in Donald Trump's office in February and was told he had no cards,
Hmm.
it was just weeks later that Operation Spiderweb happened.
That's right.
When everybody was saying the war's over, you can't take any ground back, it's stuck, Russia's gobbling it up now, kilometer by kilometer. Ukraine knew the entire time when the need arose, they could push and take Kupiansk back, and daggone it, that's what they did.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so part of it was the timing of it. The timing of it would have been a little bit better just before these negotiations. But this is also really good timing to show, you know what, we don't need to negotiate on these kind of terms that you're negotiating. Like, okay, so let's look at what was going on the ground. on the ground, it would the Russians had pushed in some what was it, 76 something. This was like a higher order not special forces, but strong infantry
Hmm.
kind of group, that assault group, and they got decimated. They got decimated with drones. They got into a place where the I was watching in real time as the unmanned forces unit. It has a real time clicker. I was
Hmm.
watching a real time as you're just seeing the numbers start to bolt up. There were 1,400 casualties yesterday, and it's not
Yes.
just Kupiansk, and then more than 1,400 the day before. That was the highest rate of casualties since April 18th of 2025. Like this was an impressive run, and they routed them, and it was just like,
It's it's because this was critical. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, Ukraine is not going to surrender 30% of the Donbass. It's not going to happen. The people of Ukraine are not for giving away their territory. Do they want peace? Yes. Do they want a just future? Yes. But do they want to be just slaves to Russia and capitulate? No, it's not going to happen. And this is one of the areas that Ukraine knows. I've got friends that are fighting in Kupiansk. They've they've had this plan ready to roll for such a time as this. This was needed right now, absolutely needed.
okay, so let's switch gears now and
Mhm.
let's talk about, unless you have anything else to add to the battlefield, and
No,
then
this was great. This is what needed to happen. It validated Zelenskyy. It validated this push for snap elections. It validated that Ukraine is done.
yeah,
They're
okay,
not.
so the Russians, on the other hand, let's look at it politically, they're not stopping either. What
No.
what what was Peskov? You were just telling me about Peskov's
So
statement today.
Peskov just came out about 30 minutes ago and says we will absolutely not have a ceasefire. As we can see now, a ceasefire will not benefit anybody. And the only thing that Russia will do is according to the things that were agreed upon in Alaska, and that is a peace plan, which means a capitulation of Ukraine. That is off the table. So Russia
Yeah.
is not going to back down. Ukraine is not going to back down. Listen, it was just yesterday. Putin is on the phone on the video call with Gerasimov. We've
Hmm.
got this conquered. We've got that conquered. We've got this conquered. And
So,
Putin is gloating. My soldiers, you've done such a phenomenal job. They have to eat that crow. And today, when Zelensky stood in front of the Kupiansk sign, it was a statement not only to Russia and to Donald Trump,
yeah.
but to the world.
Yeah, and he's done this a number of times. Like I'm like, you got to pray for Zelensky to be safe, man, because he keeps doing this kind of thing in front of Kupiansk or in front of Herzon sign or wherever. Like that he's got some
Yes, he
fortitude, some
does. He
courage.
does. And let me explain to people how dangerous that was. If you look at that video, you can go back on my earlier video today and see it, or if Prof, you put one out. I'm on the road, so I don't know. But you see him talking about the Kupiansk sign. I can confirm definitely where that sign is. He's there at Kupiansk. On the left, you saw the drone nets. So
Yep.
that's where the soldiers ride through, although those are being burnt down to the ground now by thermo drones from Russia, etc. Regardless, he's standing there with body armor on and no helmet on. He's giving that quick speech, and he's going quickly over to his left, over to his right, our left. You could see some soldiers there moving back and forth. They had weapons. They're watching out for FPV drones, of course. So for sure, he had guys around him.
But still, I
I
mean,
understand.
that's
I'm just
crazy dangerous.
that's it's beyond crazy dangerous, but
Yeah.
that's not the main danger. The main danger is an MLRS or an S300 or something that's not going to trigger an air alarm and sling in there really quickly, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it was a bold and brazen and dangerous. And people may, well, that was reckless of him. He's the president. He is the commander in chief, and he was saying, if I send my guys here, I'll go stand here.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
a
Putin's
powerful
done the
moment.
same thing. He was on the front lines,
Oh
according
yes, yeah, he was on the
according to
front line. I think
according
they
to
were.
the information that I saw from official Russian networks, that he was there meeting on the front lines in a
Oh
top
yes.
secret bunker.
Yes, the only one of those cats that I can confirm has physically been on Ukrainian soil, and this is I can confirm it, but it's Solovyov. Okay, he has been on Ukrainian ground, but you can't believe anything that they say. We're here on the front meeting underground. Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, you could be in Pyongyang having that meeting.
Yeah. I think he was quite a distance from the front lines. Okay, Greg,
Yeah, thank
I'm gonna
you.
let you go. Thank you so
Thank you,
much
sir.
for the insight and taking your time out on your trip and safe travels.
Well, this is a very important moment for Ukraine, and they responded. I know there are a lot of pro Ukrainian people around this world that are smiling tonight and proud of this nation that they support.
Yeah, today was big. No doubt
Yes.
about it. All
Yeah.
right.
All
Safe
right, man.
travels.
Blessings.